Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I'll say hello to my opponent. Now I have a vowel heavy rack. I think iwi looks okay as a starting point. So I'll go with iwi for 12. Not a good pickup. Swamped with vowels. I have iota, but the rack leave even after iota is pretty poor. So probably not gonna play iota, but let's see what opponent does. So the other option would be AIA. For some reason opponent bingos. So what to do? Got agio through the G. So riat is good as well. 10 points. No, I don't like any of these plays actually. Agio, no. 10 points. I think I will exchange. The rack leave is just too poor. I'll keep IT and dump the rest. That's a little bit better. Icterus plus a U. What does that make? Definitely makes something with the U, but I just can't see it at the moment. Suricate. And that U doesn't work either. Is there an anagram of suricate? I've got cigarettes. What about another anagram? Not suricate, but no, not sure. Okay. Scariest. Okay, I think I will go with cigarettes for 80. Okay, now is yeeling good? If it is, it plays here for 66. I wonder if opponent's gonna score well through the S. Hopefully not a 9-timer. That'd be most annoying. Opponent bingos and takes my spot. Now what about a bingo through well, let's try it here. Yeeling. No, yeeling is not good. I used to be able to shift the letters around, but I think my trackpad has given up the ghost. What about yexing? 42. Not a great pickup, a little bit clunky with the F, V and G. Pretty open board at the moment. Doff would score quite nicely. 33. What about Fogged? Fogged would be 40. That's not a bad score. I don't think Vogged is good. Vlogged would be, but the V wouldn't fall where I need it to fall. Govs isn't bad for rack balancing purposes, but 24 compared to 40. Okay. Let me try Vogged. No, it'll have to be Fogged. Fogged for 40. Oh, wow, that's a nice looking rack. Is there a bingo? Vade would work, halve would work, but is there a bingo here? $38 points. That would create a hot 5-letter play ending in a C, or a 6, or a 7. But I quite like the score, 38, and it takes out a pretty hot spot. What about unhalve? Oh, I hit the enter button. I was wondering about unhalve. I don't think you can unhalve something. Anyway, I hit the enter button by mistake. Now, what do we have here? I have fade. Is there a bingo through the T? I'd say there would be. Feminate, no. Anti-fame, no. Fetaman. Just can't see. I'm tempted to play fade for 36 if I can't see a bingo, because there is still a Z to come, and a play of Zeda, Z-E-D-A, or just Z-E-D-S Zs would be an absolute crushing blow. So I think I will take the spot out and hopefully bingo on the next turn. Not bad. That's, do I have an AMA play? Sizia, massive 59-point play. I should be bingoing here. Guyliners. Amnesia is good. What about this T? What about an anti-mans? No. Animates, and Matians. What about Martians? Yeah, that'll work. Martians. That's a 4-timer. 86. Not a bad pickup. that C hotspot still looming. Words with a CN and getting the word doubled. Wow, bodyist. Opponent takes the lead again. What about HYT? Height. 38. That's quite nice. I did also see the HM spot there, but I thought that'd be scoring better. Now the V, not ideal. Nup. The J still possibility. What about pup? 30-point play. Can I get something in front of the Oya is good, so pop, popule. Aya is good as well. No. Vopul. Slopped. 38, that's not a bad score. I think I will go with this one. Oh, it does create a J hotspot though. That's not ideal. 38 is tempting. Pop for 26. 26 or an extra 12 for slopped. Poop. 33. 8 vowels, 6 consonants, plenty of vowels to come. So what to do? Popes. What about popes? Or vols? 27. Doesn't give much back to opponent. I do like the 38-point play though. Oh, opponent's definitely got the J and he will score well there. So maybe that was a mistake. Anyway, is what it is. I could have drawn the J possibly. But no, he's drawn it. If I can go out in 2, I might have a chance of winning. But opponent's going to get 38 probably here as well. Play of J-O. Ooh, he did not play the J, but he's orchestrating an out in 2 obviously. And I wonder what he's up to. He's going to play Joe and Jar. Yeah, he's got this game sewn up, I'd say. Actually, J-O, and he can't do a play there, but I wonder. this is interesting. Scores are very close, but kit. Can't let opponent play there. He's going to score well here. Either Auk. Tauk is good. Tauk for 30. Vac there. Or Vacob. No. What to do with Vac? Tauk for 30. This could be an interesting... Can I play Vac somewhere else? Opponent's obviously going to play at the top. So what do? Uma is no good. Cavo, Voca is no good. Oh, what about Cork? Is that... Am I thinking of C-A-W-K? Cork. Atok. 30. Couve doesn't help me, does it? It's just not finding the right... What about Vac first? Vac first, and then Tauk, yeah. I'll find a spot for Tauk. Ah, interesting. 14 seconds, and I think I might just have it. Tauk for 30. Wow, pretty close. That was exciting. Thank my opponent for the game. Wow, that could have gone either way at the end there. Let's see what we missed. Wow. Iwi for 12 looks fine for the opening move. Opponent's got a great rack, a whole bunch of bingos to choose from. Goes with Guy Liner. Then I've got this horror show. Awato. That would have been better than changing, definitely. Awato. I didn't think of a parallel play. I was just looking at cutting through the R or the G or the U. So Awato definitely better than changing. Anyway, I went with an exchange. Opponent gets Roo down for 22. Now a dream rack there. Ergastic through the G. Anagram of cigarettes. That would have been the safer one. Because it doesn't, well, not really safer. Cigarettes seems fine. Same score. One leaves a C in the trip lane, the other one leaves an S. If the S was further down, I'd say it'd be more dangerous, but higher up, not as bad as it otherwise would be. So that comes down. Now opponent's got Nostrums, very nice, for 80, but he goes with Nostrum. He's also got surmount through the U. Goes with Nostrum. And I thought Yealing, I think it's Yealing. I was mixing Yealing up. But anyway, Yexing comes down for 42, equal equity to Guiney at 8A. Guiney, very nice. 42-point play, taking out a hotspot. Yeah. A play of Zori, for example, Zori, would have been damaging to the scorecard if opponent got a word like that down. So I do quite like Guiney as a strategic move, taking out the hotspot. Now the board's wide open, but opponent's got a clunky rack with just one vowel, Nobbut. 37, that's a big score there through the U. Nobbut, very nice. Don't think I've ever seen that word. That's the great thing about Scrabble. You can play the game for 20 plus years and still come across new words you've never seen before. Fogged for 40 was best from this rack, so that seems okay. Bortz opponent has no spot for that. Ritz for 50 would have been huge. Getting the Z tripled, but giving back an easy Zeta play for me, or Zs. So I don't know about Ritz being best, even though it was a good score. Opponent went with Bob. And then unhalved. I was thinking of, when I hit the trigger on halve, I was thinking of unhalved, but it just didn't quite sound right. But then onto the D, I might have seen unhalved if I had thought about it a little longer. That's a shame that I missed that one. For 104, that would have given me a healthy lead. Halve comes down, and then opponent's got, he's almost got Zeta. He just needs an A. But the Ritz play still there. Opponent goes with True for 33. And now, Faceman. That's another miss. That would have played at 14A across. Faceman. I like that. Now, the Z and the J both unseen, as well as the K, so even though I missed Faceman, I think taking out this hotspot in the corner, in terms of the potential damage a Z or J play could represent, would, I think, hold some merit in taking that corner out. But having said that, if I spotted the bingo, 50-50 on that one, actually. Even if I spotted it, I just did not want opponent to get a bingo score in that corner for a pretty easy 4-letter Z or J play. So I went with Fade, and as it happens, he almost had a big play there. Ditzia for 68 was a 4-timer through the T. Opponent didn't spot that one, but Sizia scored nicely as well. 59. Now Bonamiers. Wow, look at that. From A8 down. Bonamiers. Sounds Italian. I don't know what it means. Mantissa. Another 4-timer, and I went with Martians I was looking for anti-words, and there was one, anti-spam. Balesman. Yeah, there were a few high-scoring bingos, but Bonamiers got the M doubled and then the whole word tripled, so that would have been the pick of the bingos. Well, having said that, opponent, I mean, he would have bingoed in either spot, unless... No, that's a beautiful rack. He would have found a bingo on this board for sure. So he goes with Bardiest, but Braidest getting the D doubled. Yeah, slightly more, 3 extra points. And then I've got some nice scoring tiles here and a little bit of flexibility. Hoved, where was that? D1. Leaving the H in the trip lane with the J unseen and the K. Not overly excited about that, even though, mind you, 43, that's a big score. Yod was the other option, Y-O-D-H. I quite like Yod, actually, because the Y less useful. Maybe much of a muchness, H or Y. But at this stage, that just draws me level or slightly ahead of my opponent, not by much. But, and then opponent's got a 30 or 40 point play potentially, and then I'm playing catch up again. So I just didn't want to give my opponent any easy scoring opportunity, and I went with, well, thy is quite nice as well. That's 37, THY. That wouldn't have given much back to opponent. I like that. What did I go with? Height. 38. It was a good score as well, I guess. Opponent's Val heavy with this rack. Goes with duo for 19. Lopped for 39 was D9. Psst. That's quite nice. Lopped. I like that, actually. Lopped for 39. Slopped was 38, but created a J hotspot. So lopped definitely the strategically superior play. Yeah, definitely. And it also frustrated row 14, because if opponent plays a 6-letter play ending in C or CE, then that's a massive score in the 40s, I would say. So I like lopped. Slopped obviously took out that, but the J hotspot, not happy about. Aeolian. Opponent had a bingo on his rack, but no spot to play Aeolian. And Knowles for 23 at D2, ANOLES. That would have drawn opponent level, or slightly ahead of me actually. He goes with Naoi, which seems acceptable. Now we're into that final rack each. So, opponent... I looked around the board and tried to identify a play that opponent could go out with. Couldn't see one. Now, Cork at D2, I did contemplate, but then that left me with VOT. And what do I do with VOT? Vonat, no. Yeah. This is the problem with VOT. I don't see... It doesn't get my vote. Yeah, I don't like not going out in 2. So otakus, let's see, again, C and V, what do I do with that? VAC, but that's likely to be blocked, and then what do I do? If opponent goes out before me, he invariably wins. That was tricky, the V and the K and the C. So I went with... What did I go with? VAC for 28. So that leaves me with Tauk, T-O-U-K, which does play here, but if opponent plays J-A, Tauk doesn't have an anagram, does it? Kotu, Kotu. Yeah, you see, I think if opponent plays J-A or even Jam, and then he goes out first. I mean, what's the best I can do with... I suppose KO might give me enough to win. So I'd have to do the math on that, but Jape for 28 does seem best in terms of the score available. And opponent did go with that. And then I've got Tauk to go out for 30, Auk for 28. Yeah, just wondering how that game would have played out. If I go KO there, it's 24 points. I might have outrun opponent because he would have only had LE left if he played the JA. Interesting. Anyway, that was that, and the end of the game. So pretty good game, 1 or 2 suboptimal plays, but I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.